complexes if it has clay in it. And it won't form those clay humus complexes if it doesn't have clay in it. So you want to put soil in your compost. Now this is something I think that Nat learned at the Pfeiffer Center in New York, because Pfeiffer was very well aware of the need for soil in composting. But not every biodynamic farm that I've seen, and I've seen some good ones that did not put soil in their compost, and thus they didn't get as fine a compost.
But do you need soil or clay?
Well, it would be tough to separate the clay out of the soil just to put it in the compost.
Yeah, but in normal recipes you have some, you should add clay and you should add soil as well. So they kind of differentiate.
Yeah, I think you get a greater, he's not hiding today.
I'm surprised he's in frozen
Yeah,
soil, but he maybe got caught.
Well, that's right. The lazy ones get weeded out because they get caught.
The lazy
The
farmers.
birds catch them.
With the lazy farmers.
Yeah, well, sometimes they need to be a lively farmer, not a lazy farmer.
You can see the crystallizing.
Yes.
On the ice.
It's frozen,
Yeah.
but it's just right on the edge.
So now we're in a pasture, unlike a grain field.
So if you put compost here, you can take soil from the side and put on, mix into the compost, and this soil will also make this
crumb structure.
This soil is okay. You don't need to take clay from another place.
No, that's right. You don't need any special clay.
No,
It's better to use your own soil.
Yeah.
This is a test. See how I stretch the root?
Yeah.
See how the root stretches?
Yeah.
If I pull it hard enough, it'll break. But it's got a lot of stretch to it. That's a sign of a good boron level in the soil. The boron makes the roots stretch.
Right. Okay.
Visual soil analysis.
Any root would.
Yeah,
behave
the
same.
grass roots are really good for testing that, though. See how that's stretching?
Yeah.
It's almost like a rubber band. I broke it, but you can see sometimes in many soils, then it just snaps. It's just brittle, like So that's a good sign. There's good boron in this pasture soil.
That's throughout the year, especially in winter. You can test this.
Yeah, especially in winter.
I remember we was here on the soil course a couple of years ago, and then we took made a hole like this, and it was very problematic. It was very hard in the top layer. We need to penetrate it with some air into the soil
It was
somehow.
compacted.
So I don't know if it has gotten better than here, or
Maybe winter been doing the work. I don't know.
Or maybe it's warmer now.
Yeah, in winter the freezing and thawing does open up the soil.
But so this freezing and open up, but maybe also, like you said, in the autumn, this soil start living, but in another way. In the winter is a lot of life. You think the winter comes, everything stops, but in the winter there is a lot of things.
And that includes more oxygen in the soil. So, and that's appropriate for the digestive season of the soil, because digestion uses up oxygen. So,
but
nature is like, it's working according to a plan. It doesn't have to think about it. It's organized that way.
So the bacterial activity stops in winter because the temperature goes down. But I think that probably the actinomycetes and a fungal activity, they will keep going.
Fungi keep going.
Isn't that so, Hugh?
I think so, but remember that your actinomycetes and your fungi are obligate aerobes. They have to have oxygen. If you were shrink wrapping your cheese and put it in the refrigerator, it will not mold because it has no oxygen.
Yeah.
So those fungal organisms all require oxygen.
Yeah.
So the fungi in the soil are no different. They have to have oxygen.
And the silica feeds them also?
They are silica organisms because look at them. They have these thread-like mycelia. They have these like very slender thread-like hyphae.
Yeah.
The actinomycetes come from a root word actino, which means needles. So that's silica. Anytime you see that straight line sort of structure, which you see it in grasses. So this is a silica organism, a grass. This is a lime organism, a clover. So look at the difference. There's all these branches here. This grows out as a round leaf. This grows out as a spear. So this is the difference between lime and silica. This is lime, this is silica. And you see it in the form of the plant or the organism. And fungi and actinomycetes are silica organisms because they have this thread-like form.
Would you then assume that the grasses also would better promote fungal activities than the red clover, than the clover?
Yes, I'm sure you will see that because you will, if you have the opportunity and you see mycorrhizal fungi, it will be associated with the grasses rather than the clovers.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that the clovers will not grow where there's that kind of activity, but they don't promote it the way grasses do. So, and if you're feeding compost with its humified, character, you're feeding it, then the grasses respond really well. The clovers don't need it so much. The clover is actually working with the lime and drawing oxygen into the soil to unlock the lime. And that it's the lime that leads it to fixing nitrogen. Nitrogen can't be drawn into the soil without lime. It takes lime to draw the nitrogen into the activity in the soil.